Wow, that's a little terrifying. Well guys, hello and welcome to another Minecraft series. This one is going to be pretty distinctly different from my modded Minecraft series, which I will be continuing. I don't have any plans to put that series to a halt anytime soon, but with the release of 1.21.9, I wanted to start a new, mostly vanilla series, and focus a little bit more on building rather than adventuring and kind of exploring all of those mods, you know? Now, while I do those usual first day of Minecraft getting started things, I am going to talk a little bit about my plans for this series, as well as exactly what modifications I have made to this world, because it is not completely vanilla, just mostly vanilla. It is important to me that I am able to update this world and kind of keep it, you know, up to date with modern Minecraft versions as they come out. You know, Mounts of Mayhem, I'm really excited about. Whatever comes after that, you know, they're doing things I'm enjoying quite a lot recently, so I'd like to be able to have an up-to-date world that I can continue playing with those features and exploring those on. So, to that end, the modifications that I'm using in this world are pretty strictly going to be data packs. Any mods I'm using are going to be like entirely cosmetic, just kind of quality of life stuff. Oh, as well as like some fun little sounds, as I just kind of got jump scared by. Oops. So the non-vanilla things I have, the data packs that I have, even those are also mostly, they're very vanilla tweaks type things. Some of them are directly vanilla tweaks. There's a couple of recipe adjustments, things that make some recipes a bit more efficient, like more trapdoors out of wood, little things like that that don't make a huge difference to gameplay besides just making things a little more convenient for me. The biggest thing, or really there's two things that aren't strictly vanilla that I'm using, aren't strictly vanilla, they're not vanilla at all, are a data pack called Fathoms and a astronomy mod. So the Fathoms data pack is based on the game Dretch, if anybody's heard or played that before. I have to imagine you have, because I think it was pretty popular a while ago, and it was a very fun game for me personally, but in general, the concept of fishing-based horror is one that I've played with for years now. The game that really got me into survival crafting games in the first place was Subnautica, which is, in fact, ocean-based horror. So, seeing this data pack, which adds essentially like a whole bunch of new fish and some small mechanics related to that, like trinkets, things like that, essentially just entirely expanding the concept of fishing in Minecraft in a little bit of a spooky way. That's really inspiring to me, and I'm really excited to play with that. The astronomy mod I thought tied in really nicely if we are going, in terms of themes for this world, in a kind of eldritch horror direction. I mean, looking at the stars, space, things beyond our comprehension, that's eldritch horror at its core, that's what it is. So the mod basically adds a small feature to telescopes, spyglasses, I don't remember what they're called in Minecraft, but you know what I'm talking about, that let you make your own constellations. You can actually kind of already see all of the stars in the sky, and we're going to be able to make our own constellations, make our own lore. I do also have, might be worth mentioning on the topic of non-vanilla things, the Blazing Caves enchantment. enchantments, advancements data pack. So you're going to see a lot more advancements than usual popping up in chat, as well as occasionally small rewards for doing them. This is something I really enjoy having on vanilla-esque worlds, just because it gives you a little bit more direction in figuring out what you're doing in a vanilla world. And that's something that I really enjoy, as sometimes I can get a little bit caught up in what to do next. I found myself in a bit of a precarious position. Hi, hello. I'm rather scared of you. Yeah, tell me about it. Why do you have a single stone block? Well, as I fight off this horde of undead, this seems like a good a time as I need to explain a little bit about my... I already had a stone axe. Oh well. To explain my goals for this series, and I guess a little bit about what I really want to start off with building, because unlike my modded worlds, I am coming into this series with something pretty specific in mind. That data pack that I mentioned, Fathoms, it really inspired me pretty much immediately as soon as I saw it. I really want to build up my own kind of spooky, a little bit of eldritch horror going on village. So to that end, I actually do consider this series as a little bit of a multimedia project, for me at least. I think most of what you guys will be seeing is probably going to be just Minecraft itself, and not much else, but for me, one thing I really want to do is I want to take the story that I'm building in here and develop it by drawing the characters, making maybe more concept art and buildings, you know, things like that, outside of the game, and then being able to take that and then bring it into the game in order to expand on the detail that I'm able to add. I think it'll be really fun and interesting to be able to do that, and I've wanted to do it before, but without something specific, without a specific story to tell. It just hasn't really been feasible for me. I think I'm generally kind of good at making detailed and interesting builds, but it is very hard once you've reached a certain barrier of detail, I guess, to go much further without being very deliberate in what blocks you're placing, how you're placing them, and, you know, I'm very quickly realizing that maybe clearing away the forest with the stone pickaxe isn't a good idea. We do have this giant cave right here. Maybe I should go mining. Is it too early to go mining? Sure, there's all kinds of scary things down there, I'm sure. But I could use the materials. Yeah, I'm gonna go mining. I have the materials for a pickaxe. I can go mining. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? Oh my god. Look at all those creepers that are over there. Maybe I won't go over there. Why do you have particles? Why are you a particle? Why are you a particle, man? Well, you're dead now, so I suppose it doesn't matter in the end. Okay, see, that's okay. We need a spider. Hi, can I have your string? Thank you. Oh, perfect. We need that for a fishing rod. Because, let me tell you, this series is going to consist of a lot of fishing. Creepers down there that want to kill me. Iron up here to save me. Save me, Iron. Save me from the creepers, please. Running away gives me more iron. Suck on that, creeper that's on the other side. People tell you to be brave, but really they should tell you to be a coward. The cowards get rewarded. Oh hey, this is a copper vein. I was thinking there was a lot of copper around here, and I thought it was just because of the dripstone cave. No, it's a copper vein. Fantastic news. We're set for life. I have more or less lit up this little cavern, which I don't think we're going to be going much further in our mining expedition today, at the very least. In part because going much further down leads us into the ancient city, and we're not doing an ancient city on episode 1. Maybe episode 2. Maybe. This is a mine shaft. How did I miss that? Well, that's quite nice to have, I suppose. I have returned from the great mining trip, and as you can see, I came back with a pretty decent haul, I think. I spent a good amount of time dismantling that geode. I'm not actually entirely sure why, as I don't plan on using a lot of calcite or amethyst necessarily right off the bat, although the salt might come in handy. Now, the next thing I want to do today is possibly going to be a little strange, possibly seem a little bit early in the game to do this, but I want to build a pond. Yep. I'm going to jump straight into terraforming, and I'm going to build a pond behind me here. It seems like kind of the perfect spot, right? I'm thinking if I just block off this kind of path for now, eventually I will come in and do some further terraforming here to make it a nice pretty little waterfall situation. But block it off for now, fill it up with water, cut down all the trees of course, and then I can maybe have some docks or a house right up by here. So we are very close to the ocean, but since I don't want to leave the hole, I need somewhere to fish. And there's no great places to fish nearby, I guess unless I'm in the hole, which might make sense, but... Alright, now that the area is clear, I guess it's time to fill it in with water. There's almost definitely a shortcut to doing this. But I don't know what it is, nor do I feel like looking it up. So I am just going to place water and see what happens. Alright, just do this a few thousand more times, I guess. I just realized that my shader's updated and turned off, but there we go. Here we have ourselves a finished pond, lake thing. It's definitely very ugly right now with this wooden wall in the way. And I have no clue how I'm even going to begin to terraform this into a nice little waterfall. Maybe some kind of wall curving around some kind of basin with just one release point. Maybe. That'll be a problem for future me though. Present me, for now, is quite excited because this pond is deep enough that we should have access to fishing up treasure when we fish. But we can't really fish right now either, can we? because there's not a dock or anything to fish off of. It's just all this dirt. I don't want to just fish on some dirt. I want a nice dock to fish on. So let's see what materials we have. Dark oak. I think I'd really like to go out and find some spruce for this, actually. I don't really have the food to do that, having said that, but I suppose we can make do with the dark oak. I think the dark oak will look just fine. Where do I want to put this dock? I feel like the very obvious answer is sticking straight out from here, especially because I feel like that'll have a gorgeous view once everything is properly terraformed. So maybe we will do that. Alright, took a step away for a minute, in part while I was waiting for another dark oak tree to grow for those fences. And I will say that I think the dark oak flooring is actually growing on me. I'm thinking if we come in at a future date with some greenery, some leaves, things like that growing up around it, the richness of the wood will be balanced out pretty nicely and might probably be pulled back towards the kind of grayer tones of the stripped wood and barked wood. And, well, with our little dock done, there's only really one thing left to do, right? We need to fish. In order to fish, we need a fishing rod. Alright. Easily done. Now I suppose all it's left to do is fish. Alright, I have pretty much done fishing, as you can see by the fact that I'm not fishing anymore. And I fished just long enough, not too long, but just long enough that I managed to actually get 6 aberration fish. Which in this case is our man-faced carp. Which, yeah, that's a carp with the face of a man. The thing is, I really want to slice him into bits, but it feels really ominous, as you can tell, so I don't really want to do it out in the open, especially right next to the pale oak forest. That just feels like asking to get cursed. So I kind of need a house, which is great, because that was probably going to be the next step anyway. Having a roof over your head is a little important, and I'm planning on putting it right here. Now, the thing is, I do need to go out and get some materials for it, as I really haven't done anything in terms of material gathering. I did that little bit of mining earlier, but that was it. I haven't gone really any further from this hole than the village. So I should do that, and I need spruce. Luckily for me, I do know where some spruce is. It is just going to be a matter of going and getting it. But first, I think it's probably a good idea to get ourselves a little bit more food together. Now I need spruce, because it's the best wood in the game. Actually, hold on, mangrove might have taken that, actually, for me. Mangrove might be the best wood in the game. Not that I use it that often. I'm home, I've emptied my inventory of my goods, and there's a problem. And the problem is that the next goods I need are down there. Not all the way down there, thank goodness. That's still a little far for my tastes, but I need tough and I do need deep slate, so I am gonna have to go back into the caves, unfortunately, which is, it's a little scary. But that's okay, I'm brave. I'm so brave. You believe that I'm brave, right? Right? I safely made it to Deep Slate, with only a few deaths that were not mine. I haven't seen any tough, and I don't really want to... Oh. As I was saying, for obvious reasons, I don't really want to go too much deeper. Because the skulk's already appearing down there. I was hoping there might be a vein closer to the surface. Getting much too close to comfort to that city. Oh my goodness. I didn't bring my hoe for some reason. That was so stupid. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I didn't look around at all. I just broke it. Why did I do that? That was so stupid. I don't want to go into the skulk today anyway. Hey look, I found a geode earlier, and I didn't mind it, because I was going to say something, and then I got distracted by the skulk. Is it safe here? Okay, I can have amethyst. I'm allowed. Okay. Okay. So I'm back from mining. Okay. Let me see, I've got like got like a stack and a bit of tough. I've got a couple stacks of deep slate. I'm set on mined goods probably, and I'm realizing I should probably get some sheep because I need wool for like banners and in a bed. I guess I have a bed, but I don't really want to use the yellow bed in here. And I'm not procrastinating building at all, I promise. I think getting some sheep would be a really good idea. Oh, I need one more. Alright. I have enclosed the sheep. I have flattened out a little bit of space and cleared out some trees. And I think there's no more putting it off. I think I need to get started building. Maybe after I empty my inventory. But after that, yeah, no, that's it. So, with the outside more or less completed, I wasn't really sure how to do a time-lapse of the interior with it being as cramped as it is. So I am just going to give you guys a little tour of what I've done there myself. I have two entrances. I do have this one over here, which is going to go down our road to the main ocean, which is right over the tree line over there, I believe. But for now, it just kind of stops once we hit the pale oak. And I have an interesting little interior here. I've done up our little kitchen, so we have places to cut our fish. I have a semi-functional stove here. Basically, you can still put items on here to cook, and then this is a minecart hopper, so it'll just be sucked in there when you're done. Let's see. I've got a little bit of a desk back here with an armor stand stool that I made. Eventually, I might replace this with... There's a specific item in Fathoms that is a calligraphy bench, something like that. This is probably going to be a good place for that. Besides that, it's mostly kind of just a lot of storage shoved wherever I really had room to. I also did put some moss carpets and some lichen on the ground to kind of make it look like maybe the floors have gotten a bit gunky in here, especially with all the fishing we've been doing. I did continue this I did continue our little bit of docks around here and across the back of the house. I might even continue it more along that way later once I've kind of figured out our farming setup a little more. I do still need to connect the house up with the main dock with some kind of pathway. I just haven't decided exactly what pathway I want to do yet. If I want to do more of the oak wood to make it look like part of the dock, or if I want to use this same pathing palette that we have going on over here, over there. I have, of course, also spent some time doing some fishing. And I have some more carp. Here are man-faced carp, and I found these bass. I think it might have been a time of day thing. I think I might have gotten these at nighttime. And some of the mutant bass, or the aberrant bass, the bottomless bass. And so, I mean, I was waiting to chop up our aberrant fish until we had a house, because it didn't really feel safe to do so just out in the open, where anything could find me. And, well, I feel like it's probably best to do it during the daytime as well. Let's start with our man-faced carp. It was fine. We got a heart from it. And some kind of gross-looking fish. That's probably fine. Okay. I chopped up all of our fish. I did get a key from one of them, and from some of the regular fish I got this robe, which, is there anything we can do with that? I don't know. I guess we can try cooking it. Cooking it is always an option. No? Okay. I guess that's just a snack. But we'll go ahead and cook up our regular fish. Alright. I suppose next episode we'll just have to figure out what to do with this sunken key and these telltale hearts. I suspect it might I just hear a noise? No. Holding that is really making me paranoid, so we're just gonna put it away. We'll figure out what to do with this next episode. I think it might have something to do with the, like, dredging equipment for getting treasure. For now, though, I think I'm just gonna do a little bit more fishing. And just regular fish. Hopefully. I don't know if I want that many more aberrant fish until I figure it out what to do with what comes out of them.